Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Good afternoon, everyone. Today we're trying to finish dependent origination. And then we will not. If you have any question regarding with the dependent originations, we can clarify today. So today will be the last lessons. Last week we talked about. We just finished dependent originations. Because of ignorance, we do volitional formations or karma, sankhara. Because of sankhara, we do consciousness. We have a consciousness. Because of consciousness, mind and matter. Because of mind and matter, 6 sense bases. Because of 6 sense bases, contact. Because of contact, feeling arises. Because of feeling, craving arises. This is the important link. So we can break the link here. So if we are mindful of feeling, then there's no craving. If there's no craving, no clinging. No clinging, no existence. No existence, no path. No path, no aging and death. If there's no aging and death, that will be the end of all type of suffering. So this is how we can end our samsara. So actually, Visuddhimagga and commentaries mention that this 12-fold formula talk about vaṭṭa dukkha. Vaṭṭa dukkha means samsara dukkha, samsara suffering. But of course, samsara is a combination of small time segments. So we have a past, present, and future. It became samsara, it became samsara. Because of past, present. Because of present, future. Because of future, another future. Like this, it will be going, So for that reason, actually, time. There's no time. There's no time. Time is just a concept. We create present, past, and future. So for that reason, anywhere can be the starting point. Sometimes for that reason the Buddha starts with the feeling. If we start with the feeling, because of feeling, craving arises. Like this. Sometimes the Buddha starts with the 6 sense bases. So anywhere we can start. Maybe sometimes because of path, the Buddha may start with the path. Then 12 factors or 12 links are according to dependent origin. According to Visuddhimagga, ignorance, volitional formation, consciousness, mind and matter, 6 sense bases, contact, feeling, craving, clinging, existence, path, aging and death. So these are 12 links. Of course, this is the most complete form of dependent originations that talk about, Visuddhimagga said that vaṭṭa dukkha, the suffering of Saṃsāra. But here, sorrow, lamentation, pain, etc., all these are not mentioned as they were not the link. The reason is they are just the secondary consequences of birth. If you do not have a birth, there will be no sorrow, lamentation, etc. So the main suffering, as you will birth, the main suffering is aging and death. So the rest are secondary consequences. For that reason, of course, we are very afraid to grow old. We are afraid to die. This is the greatest suffering. If we do not have a birth, no existence, there will be no birth. If there is no birth, no aging and death. So actually, this is a very clear definition. Actually, as I earlier said, that this is a advanced teaching, right? If I talk to a very young people, very difficult to accept it, because they are still very young, a lot of hope in their life. Actually, they don't encounter aging and death yet, right? Even they will not think about aging and death. For that reason, they are so independent in their philosophy. You know? They don't want to listen religious authority. They don't want to listen. Really, this is the nature of young people, especially in Singapore. Yeah, in Singapore and in developed country, especially in the West, they no longer listen. Singapore is even better compared to Europe. Europe no longer to listen. They don't want to listen religious authority. But anyway, in the West, I think Buddhism is going differently, especially the mindfulness. So actually, in Buddhism is not like other religions. So we have the Buddha gave the solutions. The Buddha gave solution for the present life, not afterlife. Not afterlife. Of course, in the afterlife elsewhere. It's up to you. You can take the answer for this life, in this very life, or afterlife. If you learn Four Noble Truths, dependent originations, I hope you understand to focus present moment, present life, right? Don't think too much about afterlife, because after this class I have to sit down another class, teacher's Xianqing class. So students ask the questions, so I have to answer those questions. So some of the questions are connected with the afterlife. Of course, it is quite natural that people, too much emphasis on next life. It is important, but the most important thing is present life. So actually, the present is thing that is reality. That is reality. So we have to focus. I think after learning dependent originations, and then we will know the importance of presence. Actually, dependent origination gives the answer for this present problem. Our problem. We have suffering. Why those suffering arises? So this dependent origination will give you the answer. If you can take it. According to Visuddhimagga and commentaries, so they give, we have a 3 period of time. So actually we have learned a little bit in earlier time. Comprehensive Meaning of Abhidhamma, chapter 8, para number 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So these are interpretation of Visuddhimagga, one of the influential post-canonical texts. Then Visuddhimagga follow. So we have a three period for time: ignorance, avijja, and volitional formation, sankhara, belong to the past. Because you have ignorance, you do karma, that's volitional formations. Because of that, you will have consciousness, etc. Among the 12 factors, birth, jati, and aging and death, jara marana, belong to the future. And the intermediate 8 factors belong to the present. Actually, I think we can learn this one. Because ignorance and volitional formations are past causes. As you have ignorance, you will do volitional formations. Karma. After doing karma, you will have a consciousness. But here, actually I forgot to take out this one, consciousness. After you have done karma, then you have a consciousness. So because of that consciousness, mind and matter, 6 sense bases, contact, feeling. So these are present effect. Because of ignorance and volitional formation, you have these 5 causes. Actually, these five effects. So this is the important part. Later, I think when we learn about when we talk about jati, birth, aging, and death. Birth, aging, and death. So that means these 2 terms, birth and jati and death. This is a conventional terms. They are not ultimate realities. So when we explain birth, aging, and death in ultimate reality, we have to use these 5 terms: rebirth, consciousness, mind and matter, 6 sense bases, contact, feeling. So these are present effect, and also aging and growing and how to say that, birth, aging, and death. This is a future effect, right? Future effect. So when we talk about future effect, in conventional term, we can use birth, the path of being, and growing old. You grow old, you die. We use in conventional terms. But when we talk about in ultimate sense, we have to use these terms: the path of consciousness, the path of mind and matter, the path of 6 sense bases, the path of contact and feeling, and growing old of your consciousness. Your consciousness grow old. Your mind and matter grow old. And your 6 sense bases, contact, feeling, they grow old. And they also will die, death. So when you talk about conventional terms, we use birth, aging, and death. But in later, we will use, instead of using birth, aging, and death, we will use 5 terms. This one: consciousness, mind and matter, 6 sense bases, contact, and feeling. They come into being, then they grow old, they die. So we use these ultimate terms. You understand? Okay, later I will explain again. So because of ignorance and volitional formation, you have a 5 present effect. Because of these 5 present effects, you will have 3 causes: craving, clinging, and existence. So these are called present causes. As you have a feeling, you will have a craving, clinging, existence. Because of these present causes, you will have 2 future effect, birth or rebirth, aging and death. But as I earlier said, that this is when we talk about conventional terms, we use birth or rebirth and aging and death, but we can substitute with the ultimate reality terms, like a consciousness, 6 sense of mind and matter, 6 sense basis, contact, feeling, right? So they have a rebirth, they grow old, and they die. So this is a 3 period for time. 3 period for time. Then we have a 3 connections, sandhi. And we have a 1 connection between past causes and present effect. Because of past causes, we have a present effect. That is 1 connection, right? 1 connection. Connection between cause and effect. The next one is present effect and present cause. Because of these present effect, and you will have a causes. You will causes. This is a connection between effect and cause. Another one is as we have a present causes, we will also have future effect. That's also 1 connection. So in this way we can understand 3 connections, right? 3 connections between past causes and present effect. That's 1 connection. And present effect and present causes, 1 connection. Present causes and future effect, 1 connection. Up to here, any question? No question, right? Okay. This is from page number 301. Page number 301. The same one, the same thing. Here we have 20 modes. But what I want to show you the last one. 20 modes and 4 groups. 4 groups. Here 20 modes mean, regarding with the past causes, we have a 5 factors. 5 factors. So here in the past causes, normally we understand there's only 2 causes. 2 causes. Ignorance and volitional formation, right? Page number 301. 301. Normally, regarding with the past, we understand only 2, right? Only 2. Because of ignorance, we do volitional formations. These are, the factors in the past. But if you say ignorance is the defilement. So actually, craving and clinging are also defilements. When you say ignorance, and you must understand that you have to take craving and clinging as well, because they are mutual friends. They are the same in terms of defilements. So for that reason, you can see that past causes 5, 1, 2, number 1, 2, 8, 9, 8, 9, right? Craving and clinging. Because they are the same in terms of defilements. When you talk about volitional formation, sankhara or karma, you also have to take existence or karma existence. So they are the same in terms of karma. When you talk about sankhara, you also have to take existence, because they are the same in terms of karma. So for that reason, it became 5 factors. When we talk about past causes, we have not only 2 causes, but 5 causes, and 3 defilements and 2 karma. Ignorance, craving, clinging, volitional formation, and karma existence. These are the 5 factors. You got it? Okay, thank you. Then go to the present effect. Actually, present effect is not difficult. Actually, just mention here, consciousness, mind and matter, 6 sense bases, contact, feeling. So these are the five present effect. 5 present effect. Because of five past causes, you will have 5 present effect. Then because of 5 present effect, you will have 5 present causes. But here, when you look at the chart, you will understand that regarding with the present causes, there's only 3, right? Only 3. Craving, clinging, existence, only 3. But here, craving and clinging are defilements, and ignorance also defilements. They are the same. For that reason, when we talk about craving and clinging, you also have to understand that ignorance is there, right? Ignorance there. Then here, karma existence. By taking karma existence, you also have to take volition formation, because they are the same in terms of karma, right? In terms of karma. So here also, past causes, there is 5 past causes: craving, clinging, existence, ignorance, and volition formations. So you have to take 5 together. Then future. Normally, earlier we learned that only 2 factors regarding with the future effect: birth, decay and death, or aging and death. There's only 2 factors. But as I earlier said, that birth, decay and death, they are just conventional terms to explain the origin. Actually, in ultimate reality, there's a 5 future effect. These 5 are nothing but number 3, consciousness, mind and matter, 6 sense bases, contact and feeling. So these are the 5 effects. So in this way, it became 20 modes, right? It became 20 modes. And also, it became 4 group. So here, 5 past causes, 5 present effect, 5 present causes, and 5 future effect. So in this way, 20 modes, and it became 4 groups. So this is the way commentaries mention. I think that is very beautiful. By looking at those explanations, we can understand that even though we are talking ignorance, because of ignorance, volitional formation arises. Ignorance is not only one cause. There are other causes as well, just like a craving and clinging. Now we can see that because of ignorance, then combination of craving and clinging, sankhara arises. Until now, our understanding is getting clear. Actually, the Buddha just single out one main cause. Then, if we see ignorance, we must understand there are other causes as well, like craving and clinging. Not only that, there are many other defilements as well. In earlier, we learned that we have 10 defilements, right? 10 defilements. Either one of them, you can say this is the cause. When we talk about path, so that is the path of consciousness, the path of mind and matter, 6 sense bases, contact and feeling. That is the path, right? And also growing old. Your consciousness grow old, your mind and matter grow old, and they will die. That is aging and death. So we just use conventional term, birth, aging and death. Okay, any question? No question, huh? Okay, you understand. So this is the most important part. We have a 3 round vaṭṭa. Vaṭṭa is a vaṭṭa means going round and round, like a rotation of a wheel, rotation of a wheel. The wheel is going around. You cannot say which one is the first. You cannot say. That is vaṭṭa. So actually, in Pali Canon, we use vaṭṭa to refer to samsara. Samsara, going around. You die, you give birth, and you grow old. You die, you give birth, you grow old. Going like this, going like this. Even right now, we can find vaṭṭa in your mind, in your body. Then mind, mental and physical phenomena arises and passes away. And mental and physical phenomena arise again and passes away. That is vaṭṭa. In other words, that is samsara. When we talk about samsara, you was born in Singapore, you die, then you was born another life, you die. That is, we talk in conventional terms, samudhisacca. In ultimate reality, you cannot say that you was born, you die. Mental and physical phenomena arises, that means you was born, and passes away. That is, you die. Even now you was born, you are dying. You're dying, right? All the time, at the time. That is samsara, that's samsara, vaṭṭa, that's vaṭṭa. For that reason, we have a very famous, how to say the philosopher, Greek, I think. You cannot dive into the water twice. You dive into water, your physical and mental phenomena passes away. When you dive again, that is new one, So that means you cannot dive into the river twice. You cannot. So actually, even those philosophers, they understand, mind, a material phenomena arises and passes away. Okay. That is a vaṭṭa, going around, was born, dying, was born, dying. That is a vaṭṭa. Another we call it samsara, right? Samsara. Dependent origination is categorized into 3 segments. Because of that, we are going round and round in the wheel of life, or in samsara. So we have a 3 round, and you can look at page number 273 and 314. Today I just copy from Paccaya book. I don't need to write my own note. It's complete. Very beautiful, very beautiful. Number 1, round thought defilements, kilesa vaṭṭa. Ignorance, craving and clinging. These are the defilements. But here, as I earlier said that in previous chapter, we learned with 10 type of defilements, right? 10 type of defilements. But of course, then these 3 are the most prominent. Ignorance, craving and clinging. These are the defilements among the 12-fold formula or dependent originations. And number 2 is round of karma vaṭṭa. We have 2 terms among the 12, volitional formation and karma existence. So these are the round of karma. And number 3, round of resultants, vipaka vaṭṭa. Vipaka, result or effect. So these are consciousness, mind and matter, 6 sense bases, contact, feeling, birth, aging and death. And we also have another existence that's called rebirth existence, one part of bhava. When we talk about bhava, according to Visuddhimagga, according to Abhidhamma, two types of bhava, right? Karma existence and rebirth existence. Karma existence is the cause, rebirth existence is the effect, cause and effect. But when we talk about round-thought resultants, vipakkavata, we have to take rebirth existence as well. So this is one part of bhava. So these are three rounds. Defilements, three types of defilements: ignorance, craving, and clinging. And we have two types of karma: volitional formation and karma existence. We have eight type of round resultants or effect: consciousness, mind and matter, 6 sense bases, contact, feeling, birth, aging and death, as well as rebirth existence. That is one part of bhava. These are the result. But here, I will use Bhikkhu Pori note. 3 rounds is so big the cyclic pattern of existence in samsara. That is a round, right? Cycle. The most fundamental round is the round of defilements: kilesa, ignorance, craving, and clinging. That's the most prominent, fundamental round. Blind by ignorance, driven by craving. Ignorance makes you blind. Because of that, your craving drives you to do karma. A person engaged in various wholesome and mundane wholesome activities. In other words, these are called sankhara and karma. Because of ignorance and because of craving and because of clinging, you do wholesome and unwholesome karma. Thus, the wrong thought defilement gives rise to the wrong thought karma. Because of defilements, karma arises. Right? Karma arises. Page number, I think this one is part number 8. Part number 8, right? When this karma matures, those karma matures, it ripens in the resultants, result and effect. These are consciousness, mind and matter, etc. Right? It's 8. Thus, the wrong thought karma give rise to the wrong thought resultants, vipakkavata. So these vipakkavata are nothing but 5 present effect and 5 future effect. In conventional terms, in ultimate terms, we use only 5, right? Only 5. Consciousness, mind and matter, 6 senses, 6 bases, 6 sense bases, then contact and feeling. But here, the wrong thought resultant means the 5 present effect and 5 future effect. In response to those resultant effect, so here, effect means the pleasant, painful fruit of his own actions. The person stays immersed in ignorance. Sometimes he or she will have a pleasant effect, pleasant result, sometimes painful result. If that person stays immersed in ignorance, overcome by craving and clinging, and he or she will enjoy more pleasant experiences. Lobha. Cling to those he already has and try to avoid the painful ones. when he or she encounter with the painful experiences, and dosa doesn't like him, dosa arises. Thus, the wrong thought resultant generates another wrong thought defilements. So here, ignorance, craving, defilements. If you have a defilements, and you will also rule, you will also do karma again. If you do karma, you will have a result again. If you have a result, and you will have a lobha dosa moha. If you have lobha dosa moha, and you will do karma again. That's going wrong, right? Going wrong. So in this way, 3-4 round turn incessively until the ignorance at its base is removed. Only if you can remove ignorance by way of insight and the supramental path, Mangala, then only you can remove. You will be able to remove ignorance. So if you can remove ignorance, you will not do any karma. If you don't do any karma, you will not have any result. If no result, no defilements. No defilements, no karma. No karma, no result. No result, no defilements. That's it. Cessation formula, right? Cessation formula. Cessation formula. I think when we explain using our daily time, daily life, right? Daily life. Suppose we, with the ignorance, we do wholesome or unwholesome karma. If you are a devotee, if your actions is based on ignorance, not based on wisdom, even though you do good things with the lobha, even though you do good things with the lobha, then that is defilements. That's called sankhara. Because of that sankhara, the result will come. If that result is good, you will have a greed. If the result is fever is not good, then you have a hatred. Right? Then you will react again based on lobha dosa moha. Right? So actually 3 rounds going like this, right? Because of defilements, you do karma. Because as you have done karma, you have a result. Based on that result, then defilements arise again. Because of those defilements, you do karma again. That karma gives rise to the fruits. Then based on that fruit, then defilements arise again. So what you can do is, only you can uproot ignorance. Only you can remove ignorance. So you will be able to stop that samsara or that vaṭṭa. So that is a dependent origination. Little bit. You understand? Okay. Any question? No question, eh? Okay. And we also have two rules. Then this is one of the sutta. Because this samsara and also this vaṭṭa, this realm is without discoverable beginning. No beginning. Many religions, they say the beginning is their God, right? Their God. And scientists, they propose that beginning is Big Bang. Big Bang. Because of that Big Bang, the universe come into existence. Then our living beings come into existence. They cannot go beyond that Big Bang. But the Buddha said that no beginning. You cannot find any. The first beginning. Earlier, some religion proposed that everything began, the creation of the God, 6,000 years ago. 6,000 years ago. 6,000 years ago, written in the book. But the Buddha said, no beginning, countless universe, The first point is not descent of beings roaming and wandering on, hindered by ignorance and fettered by craving. Because of ignorance, craving, because of craving. So we have been for such a long time, bhikkhus, you have experienced suffering, anguish, disaster, and swear the cemetery. It is enough to experience revulsion toward all formations, enough to become dispassionate toward them, enough to be liberated from them. Actually, this is what the Buddha said. But as we have ignorance and craving, we cannot have revulsion. We cannot have revulsion. We are very happy to go round and round, to go around samsara. We are very happy. The Buddha said that no, it's enough. It's enough to experience revulsion, to feel unhappy to live in samsara. Because the Buddha knew, he knew himself. We have been encountering a lot of suffering in beginningless samsara. Enough to become dispassionate toward them, toward sankhara. Enough to be liberated from them. So that means here, two roots, because of ignorance and craving, we have been going around samsara. Countless time, no beginning. The Buddha is talking to the monks. Enough to have revulsion toward samsara or formations. Okay, so up to here, I think Abhidhamma Sangha, we completed Abhidhamma Sangha. Sorry? Question? Any question? No question. Okay. Yeah.
You say that there's no beginning of time. How do you reconcile Paṭiccasamuppāda Sutta, where Buddha discussed the human evolution with the two Brahmins?
Yeah. Actually, this is not beginning. Again, Sutta does not talk about the beginning of samsara. It's not a beginning of a being. It is the beginning of revolution, evolution of a human being. According to Akanya Sutta, a human being evolved from came down, not evolved, came down from the Brahma realm. Actually, when they arrive human realm, they are not Brahma, but of course they look like Brahma. They can fly in the sky. They have their own light. Then they eat. They don't eat anything. They live without eating anything. But when we call it a human being, earlier primitive, right? Primitive human being, they are not like Brahma. But when human beings start to taste, the little bit of ground, so from that time onward, evolution started. So at the earlier time, there's no women, no men. So only through evolutions, women and men start to distinguish. But actually, I can also talk about how to evolve, from Brahma-like human being to normal human being. It does not talk about the beginning of samsara. But here, you cannot trace beginning of your life in samsara. But of course, we can. The Buddha talk about the evolution of human race, the Akanya Sutta, not the beginning of samsara. Okay. Due to
trauma injuries or accident. So it cannot be considered as craving.
craving.
It should not be considered as illusion of craving.
I mean, you mean the accidents?
Yeah.
But when somebody has accidents,
Because he or she do not know what's going on. So during this time, she has undergone many problems, physical and mentally. So maybe certain actions she commits is not what she knows because of trauma. And then therefore it brings many unhappiness to this person.
sorry, therefore?
Therefore, because of this trauma injuries, somehow it brings many unhappiness to this particular person who is injured.
Okay. So we can learn those things in accidents through their divine originations. Actually, here incidents or a bad accidents considered as the unpleasant feeling. So if we approach according to divine originations, you must be very mindful, number one. Number two, you must clearly comprehend unpleasant feeling as the unpleasant feeling. If you clearly comprehend unpleasant feeling as the unpleasant feeling, that is wisdom. So if you have mindfulness and wisdom, no unhappiness will come. Unhappiness is a mental activities. On the emotional aspect. You are feeling unhappy because you have actually feeling unhappiness can be called resent, right? Because if we are not mindful, if we do not have a clear comprehension upon unpleasant feeling, then craving might arise. But here craving me like and dislike. But of course, I say accidents, dislike. If you have a dislike, that is a dosa. If you have a craving, that dosa, then you might be clinging, more intense dosa. Then because of that, then you will have a age on the path, existence of, how to say, we can say that karma existence. You will create some type of activities. Maybe based on your dislike, you were trying to do something that is karma existence. Then because of that karma existence and the path of many suffering. So what I want to say is, if we look at divine originations, we have to see important link. Because of feeling, craving arises. But if the craving or feeling here means unpleasant feeling, right? Unpleasant feeling in your body. But you have to be very mindful, number one. Then you have to clearly understand your unpleasant feeling. Unpleasant feeling as an unpleasant feeling. So if you know it, that is wisdom. Based on that wisdom and mindfulness, no craving. No craving, no clinging. No clinging, no karma existence. No karma existence, no suffering, no suffering. Of course, it is difficult to practice, but if we are serious practitioner, we can try. Even serious problem.
What I mean is, if this person is already, she knows what's going on, she is mindful, she has awareness, physical and mental pain, she accepts it.
Yeah.
But it's somehow surrounding people that brought her so much miseries, which caused this person to be have so much unhappiness.
Actually, if you are mindful and clear comprehend your unpleasant feeling, reaction of other people, also unpleasant feeling, what you have to do is just recognize, just be mindful, just be clearly comprehend a unpleasant response from other people. If you just know it, that's wisdom. You don't need to react, If you have a wisdom, you will not react anything. So wherever they see it. So that is the most important part here is the mindfulness and clear comprehension. Wherever we have our feeling, whether pleasant or unpleasant or neutral, we have to be very mindful and we have to clear comprehend. If we have these two qualities, mindfulness and wisdom, then our reaction will not be negative. Our reaction will be good, right? Good. So there will be no suffering. Of course, it is difficult. As I earlier said that Dipana origination is the advanced teachings. It's hard. So if we practice meditation seriously, we can apply in our daily life. Okay, so this is a cessation of suffering. This is a cessation formula. Depending on the I and forms, unconsciousness arises. The medium of the three is called contact. With the contact as a condition, there is a feeling. With the feeling as condition, there is craving. But here, if you are mindful and clear comprehend, there's no craving. Right? That is, the Buddha said that. But remain direct fading away and cessation of that same craving. If you are mindful and clear comprehend, craving will disappear. Craving will cease. So the cessation of that same craving cease comes cessation of clinging. If no craving, no clinging. If no clinging, no existence. No existence, no path. Actually, it's talk about Saṃsāra suffering. But here, when we talk about present suffering, if we have whether it is feeling is unpleasant, pleasant, neutral, it doesn't matter. You just know feeling as a feeling. That's mindfulness and wisdom. That if you have mindfulness and wisdom, then your reaction cannot be called sankhara. Maybe we can call it kriya, right? Function. You just function because you need to do it. Suppose you have a negative response from other people, but you just know it as an unpleasant experience, unpleasant feeling. Then if you are mindful and clear comprehend, you can still respond. Their reaction, your response may not be negative because you don't have craving. You don't have any lobha, any dosa, any moha. You talk to them because it is necessary. And you do something because it is necessary. We cannot call it sankhara, but we can call it kriya. Functional consciousness, right? Functional consciousness. So, the Buddha also react when times comes, right? The Buddha taught to Devadatta. The Buddha taught to some Brahmin, arrogant Brahmin. He still taught to them, but without any craving, without any lobha and dosa. For that reason, his response, his reaction or function or kriya, it's not, how to say, nothing to do with craving, right? Craving. But here it's talk about samsara suffering. If there's no craving, no clinging, no existence. No existence, no path. There's no path, no aging and death. If there's no aging and death, no sorrow, lamentation, pain, despair, displeasure, cease, right? And the Buddha said that such is the cessation of this whole mass of suffering. This is the passing away of suffering. But here the most important thing, we can learn that in many sutras. We have to aware of our feeling. Actually, I haven't talking that feeling is not emotion aspect. As you have a senses, as your body, you will still have feeling. Even arupa Brahma, even though they don't have physical body, they still have a mind, and they also have feeling, mental feeling, right? Mental feeling. Feeling is not a emotional aspect. It is just experience, Experience. When you see pleasant things, pleasant experience, pleasant feeling. When you see unpleasant experience, unpleasant feeling. Feeling will arise whether the Buddha or non-believer or Arahant. So we have to aware of our feeling. When unpleasant feeling arises, you just know that as the unpleasant feeling. When pleasant feeling arises, you just know that. If you know, that is wisdom, that's wisdom. If you have wisdom, there's no place for ignorance, more. Avijja is opposite of wisdom. If you are mindful, if you have a wisdom, so craving cannot arise. Lobha and dosa cannot arise. And if there's no lobha and dosa, then your reaction, whatever you do, will not be based on your defilements, your craving. Then your action, because of that action, you will not feel anything. You will not feel anything. So such is the cessation of this whole mass of suffering. Any question? No question. Okay. Then, when the Buddha attained enlightenment, the Buddha contemplate dependent origination in rebirth order and cessation arising formula and cessation formula. Then he is so happy that he uttered some of the words. So these are the, we call it this. These are the first word of the Buddha. Aneka jadi saṃsāra santavaisan anibisan. And the Buddha uttered from his mouth. Nobody is living nearby. He himself alone, so happy that he utters speeches from his mouth. It's called Uddara. Uddara, which is one of the texts. So in those texts, so utterance of the Buddha are recorded. When the Buddha is very happy, so happy that he speaks out from his mouth. So this is the first verse after he became the Buddha. Anekajari Saṃsāra. Seeking, but not finding the house better. He was seeking, but not finding the house better. But here, the house better is nothing but craving. Craving built a lot of houses. I travel through the wrong samsara, countless paths. He traveled around the samsara, having a lot of paths. Oh, painful is path ever and ever again. Actually, having rebirth is very painful, very painful. House builder is a craving. You have now been seen. I have seen craving. You should not build the house again. You cannot build because I have seen you. Your vaṭṭa have been broken down. Your vaṭṭa have been broken down, like a clinging, lobha dosa moha. Your rift pole is demolished too. My mind has now attained the unformed nibbana, unconditioned nibbana, and reached the end of every kind of craving. Actually, the Buddha knew that craving is the source of our suffering. The source of our suffering. Because of that craving, we have a rebirth in samsara in countless times. Now the Buddha already see craving. You know? Then he teach Four Noble Truths. Second Noble Truth is craving, the original suffering. With the remainder of fading away and cessation of ignorance comes cessation of volitional formations. If there is no ignorance, there will be no volitional formations. No volitional formation, no consciousness. No consciousness, no mind and matter. No mind and matter, no six senses. If there is no six senses, there is no contact. No contact, no feeling. No feeling, no craving. No craving, no clinging. No clinging, no existence. No existence, no path. No path, no aging and death. If there's no aging and death, no sorrow, lamentation, pain, grief, despair, everything ceases. Such is the cessation of this whole mass of suffering. So this is a cessation formula of dependent origination. But we have two roots, ignorance and craving. If you can uproot those two roots, then everything is demolished. Everything is demolished. Now we can talk about dependent originations as mentioned in sectarian teenness, sectarian soda. So according to three sectarian teenness soda, the dependent origination clear following wrong views. So if you understand dependent originations, it can clear following wrong views. Number one, karmic determination. Wherever this person experience, whether pleasure, pain, neither pain nor pleasure, all that is caused by what was done in the past. Everything you encounter in this life, whether it's good or bad or neutral, it is because of paccaya. That is, you just single out only one cause, paccaya. That is a karmic determinism. Everything happened because of my paccaya. If you just say because of paccaya, that is a wrong view. That's wrong view. So actually, our problem, our happiness, our richness, our poverty, everything, not just because of paccaya, it is also because of many reasons. Maybe present karma as well, right? Present karma as well. So by learning dependent originations, we can understand that everything arises depending on causes, conditions. Not only one condition, not only one cause, many causes, right? Many causes. So we can understand that if we clearly understand dependent originations, we will not have those wrong views. Number 2, wherever this person experiences, whether pleasure, pain, or neither pain nor pleasure, all that is caused by God's created activity. Because of God, God created everything. You are happy, God created for you. You are unhappy, God make you in such a way. So that is theistic determinism. Everything because of God. God will, the will of the God, right? You cannot change it. If you think like this, it's also wrong view. So as a Buddhist, we don't have such a wrong view. But sometimes you might think that there's a God and goddesses, my lucky and unlucky karma because of that God and goddesses. That's also theistic determinism, right? The determinism. You are good karma, bad karma, not because of God and goddesses, not because of the Creator God, but because of yourself. So by learning dependent originations, and we can learn that. Visuddhimagga said very beautiful, no God, no Brahma can be formed. Creator of Saṃsāra wrong. They do not create. There's no creator. Whatever you call it, God, Brahma, Allah, everything, whatever you call it, there's no creator God. You created your own world. Right? You are happy, you created it. You are unhappy, you created it. So everything depends on originations. Empty phenomena roll on, subject to cause and condition. Empty phenomena. Here, empty means sunyata. Sunyata, actually the Buddha said that. Sunyata means, soullessness, non-self. There's no permanent entity. Every phenomena arises and passes away. It rolls on. Arises and passes away. Subject to cause and condition. Because of cause and conditions, they arises. Because of cause and condition, they disappear. So, empty phenomena roll on, subject to cause and condition. Actually, in Pali, it's much more beautiful to say all this one. But English sometimes. So by learning dependent originations, our suffering, our happiness arises depending on causes, right? Conditions. Because of contact, feeling arises. Because of feeling, craving arises. Because of craving, clinging. Because of clinging, suffering, suffering. You create karma, sankhara. That karma creates the result, happiness and unhappiness. So here, by learning dependent originations, I think we can clearly understand that our karma based on defilements, right? Based on defilements. If you are action, it's not based on defilements, based on mindfulness and clear comprehension, wisdom. We cannot call it karma, it can be called kriya, right? Kriya. So that kriya will not give rise a happy result, right? The next one is the most important one. Whatever this person experiences, whether pleasure, pain, or neither pain nor pleasure, all that occurs without cause or condition. Some people think that we came into this world without cause and conditions. Without cause and conditions. We came here by chance, by coincidence, like this, some scientists, we are here without any reason, without any cause. They don't believe creator God. God does not create it. They don't believe karma as well. But by learning dependent originations, we can understand that everything has their own conditions. Not only one condition, many conditions. So by learning dependent originations, we can remove this wrong view as well. Non-causality. So everything arises depending on causes. Then dependent origination for noble truths. In this sutta, the Buddha equates the second noble truth, the original suffering, with the arising order or dependent originations. It is well stated that the arising formula ended with the line, such is the origin of this whole mass of suffering. You can see this one, the origin of suffering. Very beautiful sutta. By learning this sutta, we can learn that arising formula or dependent origination will talk about arising of the original suffering. You have suffering, then if you have suffering, why? So this arising formula will give you the answer. You have a contact, as you have an eye, as you have an ear, you will definitely will have a contact, right? If you have a contact, feeling definitely will arise. No God and goddesses cannot deter, cannot prevent arising of feeling. When you see something, pleasant, unpleasant, neutral feeling will arise. When you hear something, feeling will arise. Because of that feeling, craving might arise if you are not mindful and clear comprehend. If you are mindful and clear comprehend, no craving will arise. No craving will arise. So that is by learning arising formula dependent origination, we can understand how our suffering originated. The main link is between feeling and craving, right? Feeling and craving. Craving is the original suffering. The Buddha taught in the first sermon, right? In the first sermon. Cessation order is mentioned as the third noble truth. Cessation of suffering. If you do not have craving, craving, there is no clinging, no suffering. It is also well said as such because The last line reads, such is the cessation of this wholeness of suffering. Here also you can see the cessation of suffering. So by looking at cessation aura or the dependent origination, you can understand how to go to Nibbana, how to attain Nibbana, right? How to attain Nibbana. If you want to attain Nibbana, you remove craving, right? So that craving arises because of ignorance. Ignorance is moha. Craving is lobha and dosa. Dosa also, right? So, lobha, dosa, moha, these three are the root of akusala, right? The root of akusala. So in the Sattarian Sutta, the first noble truth and the fourth noble truth are explained exactly the same way with the line stated in the first psalm. Actually, the first noble truth, the fourth noble truth, the same. So only the Buddha, explained arising formula as the second noble truth, cessation formula as the third noble truth. So they are linking. The fourth noble truth is the Dhamma that we must understand to cut off the circle of life. Why dependent origination provides ways and means to achieve that goal. So that means if you want to end your samsara, you have to know dependent origination. So dependent origination will give you ways and means, the method to end suffering. For that reason, the Buddha often mentioned that in order to attain enlightenment, one has to understand either the Four Noble Truths or dependent origination. If you understand one of them, then you attain Nibbana. You can attain enlightenment. Because they are not different. They are the same. Question? Okay. Sorry, please use microphone.
For myself, I find it harder to understand the four noble truths than to understand dependent origination. Dependent origination, maybe because it's more detailed.
Yeah, you're right.
Very small, whereas the four noble truths is a lot harder to understand.
Yeah, it's concise explanation. Some people are very intelligent that they don't need to explain in details. Like a Venerable Sariputta, right? So actually when Venerable Sariputta met Venerable Assaji, and he taught to, your appearance is so serene, so calm. Who is your teacher? And what he teach? Actually, Venerable Assaji make a psychological welfare. I'm very new to his teaching. What I know is a little bit. Then Venerable Sariputta said that, don't worry, a little bit or in detail doesn't matter. Just taught me, the main teaching. Then Venerable Assaji only talk about 4 verses, 4 line verse. Yedhamma hetobabhava desan heso tathagato aha desinsa yo nidoro iumvarima savano. So actually, in this verse, Venerable Assaji talk about 4 noble truths. When Venerable Sariputta hear the first 2 lines, he became sort of so intelligent, very cute. No need to explain dependent origination. For them, useless.
So, Bhante, so you feel that you see Four Noble Truths as equal to dependent origination, because they're the same. For me, I see Four Noble Truths really as truly independent statement.
Sorry?
I see the Four Noble Truths as the master, the mothership, really as the elephant's footprint.
Yeah, you're right.
Dependent origination, as well as the Noble Eightfold Path, as aspects of it. But the Four Noble Truths, maybe because I'm reading this book, Raja Sumita,
Yeah.
on the Four Noble Truths, and he has said that the Four Noble Truths is the most important, is the most fundamental teaching to him that he uses and that he contemplates and reflects throughout his entire life.
Yeah.
And the Four Noble Truths provide whole lifetime contemplation and reflection as he lives through life, encountering issues and difficulties.
Yeah.
So I fully agree, and I'm so happy to read his book because a lot of the examples that he gave, the problems that he faced, are actually my own problems. And I used to think I was crazy, I was the only one with these problems, because the people around me didn't seem to have the problems that I had. So I'm so happy to have this book, and so I do agree with him that really the Four Noble Truths is really the mothership, it's really the elephant's footprint. Whereas dependent originations are not more technical. Whereas the Four Noble and contemplation, reflection is a very critical part of the practice, especially your own journey. So the Four Noble Truths is really about reflection, whereas the dependent origination is really more technical. So to me, the Four Noble Truths is really the mothership. They are not that similar from that perspective.
Yeah.
Because you have that contemplative element, which is a very critical part of our practice. It is only when you contemplate that you truly get it and you match it with the problems in your life.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, we can apply. This is very advanced. For that reason, the Buddha preached for the first time. This is his discovery, Ope ananosu desudamesu aha before. So the Buddha discovered himself by contemplating his previous life, the life of other people. Why people have a problem and suffering? Because of craving. The craving is the original suffering. Okay, so the next one, dependent origination is actually earlier before I teach dependent origination, I make this one. Dependent origination is one of the most important teachings of the Buddha. One of the most teachings of the Buddha. It explains the origin of suffering and cessation of suffering. It explains the origin of suffering and cessation of suffering. Very short, This is all about dependent origination. If you want to know the origin of suffering and also how to stop those suffering, you can read Samdha Nikaya chapter 12, Nidana Sanyoga, Samdha Nikaya chapter 12, right on. You can read, I think you'll be able to read. The suttas are very simple, easy to understand. But of course, as the Buddha said that, his teachings are very profound and very subtle. You cannot attain by your thinking, Paṭiccasamuppāda, beyond your thinking. If you are a great philosopher, you cannot. But you have to practice and you have to experience it. Then only, then only. The meditation centers, the lay people are more quick for the development in their meditation practice. The monks and nuns, the monks are very slow, because even though they know a lot, they have a lot of thinking, because of their development is very slow compared to lay people. Lay people, no thinking. If the teacher say, you do this, they follow. So the monks, when they are told to do something, whether it is in accordance with the Buddha, whether it is in accordance with the suttas, a lot of thinking, For that reason, their practice is very slow. Almost every meditation center, there's a difference. So without, beyond our thinking, beyond our, very, very profound. But what I want to say is, the suttas are very simple. You can understand it. But to realize, you have to practice. You have to develop your concentration. There's no other way. There's only one way, through mindfulness. Mindfulness to four objects. Your body, then connected with the body, your feeling, your mind, and phenomena, natural phenomena. Not only the origin of suffering and cessation of suffering, dependent origination also explains the basis for other key concepts in Buddhism, such as theory of karma. We do karma because of ignorance and craving and clinging. And mind process. I always say that dependent origination is mind process. Piti in Abhidhamma. So when we learn piti is, of course, is a greater detail. Mind process in Abhidhamma will give you more detail. Actually, they are the same, they are the same, greater detail. But this one, dependent origination, also mind process. How our mind is functioning, functioning. Contact with the eye, ear, the feeling will arise. Based on feeling, then craving will arise. That's mind process, And the process of birth and death, that's clear, right? So main thing is the original suffering and cessation of suffering. So that is all about dependent originations. It doesn't talk about the beginning of our life. It does not talk about the beginning of samsara. It talks about the beginning of suffering, suffering. Because suffering, we are always struggling with the suffering. How it arises, how it can be stopped. If we practice dependent originations, then we can, For that reason, Venerable Sariputta said that in Mahāhatthipāṭopamā Sutta. He said that the Buddha said, Venerable Sariputta said that the Buddha said, he who sees the dependent originations sees the Dhamma. Who sees the Dhamma sees the Paṭiccasamuppāda. So that means, without seeing Paṭiccasamuppāda, you do not see the Dhamma. But according to commentary, here Paṭiccasamuppāda means conditions and the cause. Dhamma here means conditioned things or the effect. If you see the cause, you see the effect. If you see the effect, you see the cause. Commentary mention, what commentary mention is very beautiful, very beautiful. If we carefully read the Sutta, there is no mention about dependent originations. But here, dependent origination means the cause or conditions. The Dhamma means conditioned things. In other words, to make it very simple, cause Paṭiccasamuppāda is cause. Then Dhamma is effect. Cause and effect. As I earlier said that we have the Buddhism talk about causality. Karma. That's causality. If you do good, good result. If you do bad, bad result. And we have a Four Noble Truths, causality. Because of second Noble Truth and the first Noble Truth will arise. Because of the fourth Noble Truth, third Noble Truth will arise. Causality. Here also, depend on origination, causality. Next week, we will learn another causality discourse, that is vaṭṭa. Conditional relations, That's also causality. Okay, any question? Please use microphone. Sorry? Huh? What is paccaya?
You are taking us, vaṭṭa. You have to understand what is paccaya.
Oh yeah, we will learn next week. I will talk about it next week. Okay. Any question? We still have 10 minutes. Okay, no question, then let's conclude our class. Thank you for coming. Sangha Mimamsa